So, what do we look at rates in the housing market and the what's happening with the stocks and the lumber market and so on? So, UFPI is a leader in the forest products, essentially lumber. You could tell it's obviously really struggling year to date. If we go over time, it's just a really ugly up and down and up and down and up and down. Obviously, we can capitalize on this if we're watching it. In January of 22, it was trading at 93.51, and it got all the way down, well, geez, off the chart to 61.96 here in June, and then back up to 75. So we're keeping a good eye on UFPI. Joe's is a real estate development company. Same thing. If you look at the volatility in it, it's all over the place. But what we're looking for is in April, the high was 61.76, and it got down to 38. And so we're obviously looking for evidence that it's going to come back up, which has to do with a lot of things, including the macro climate, inflation, interest rates, etc. Here's Boise Cascade. Same thing. They're a lumber supply wholesale distributor for in the space. All the charts are going to look somewhat similar. That they're going to have this big bull, and they're going to come top out and then end up coming down quite a bit, actually. If you look at DHI, they're home builders. Our home consumer durables and home building. You can see what's happening since basically since 22 at the high of 108. It's just come crashing down to 61. So 50% would be 50, so 40% there. And then if we go to home construction, again, same thing. If you go to January of 22, it's at its high. So it was at the height at the beginning of the year and has just crashed down, but it has a little bounce coming back up. So this is something that we're really keeping an eye on, is the whole lumber home building sector. In today's news, mortgage demand drops to a 22-year low. So if you go to this article in CNBC, mortgage demand drops to a 22-year low as higher interest rates and inflation crush home buyers. So, I mean, think about that. 22-year low for mortgage demand. And, yeah, man, that was at the turn of the century there. It was at the year 2000. So, after the 208 crash, there was a lot of home a lot of speculation going on, but for the mortgage demand to drop to its lowest in 22 years is very, very significant. And if you're reading the article here, you can see applications for a mortgage to purchase a home dropped 7% for the week and 19% lower than the same week last year. But what I thought was interesting here was the average contract interest rate for a 30-year fixed mortgage with conforming balances of 647 or less increased to 5.82 from 5.74. But that rate last year at the same week a year ago was 3.11. So it's not quite 100% double, but it's approaching it. So it's almost half of what it was last year. So the people who bought ARMs and adjustables are really they're really going to be struggling. It really depends on their situation. But if you bought in at 3%, you're going to soon going to be at 6%, and your delta there is going to double. That's a problem for some if you didn't plan on it. The current CPI or inflation rate they're saying is 9.1. And of course, this is what the government is telling us based on whatever they want to tell us. But currently, they're publishing it at 9.1, while rates are, we just saw hovering around 6%. And so we go to lumber. But back to the charts real quick. I just want to point out that the massive volatility here. But when you look at the 5-year of a chart, actually, that's a really bad example there. That is so volatile. It's not even, it's going off the page. So let's not use that. Let's use the home building. And if you go to the 5-year, you could see that in 2018, they were trading around 49, and they dipped in 19, and 20 they went up, and 21 they went way up, and then we at 22 we're at the highest. So it was trading at the highest in 22, and then it has dipped. It's going to be very interesting to see where this goes. Just because of all the things we just talked about with between inflation and rates, and just the cost of stuff and the need for housing. We'll keep a really, really good eye on lumber and home building moving forward. Okay, that's about it for this one. Thanks.